Where are you from?
Tyron Woodley, the softest
How many
thing
people in
from
your
the
neighborhood
desert.
dress like that?
You're so tough.
How many people were bust down
Let me ask
Cuban
you a
links?
question. Since you're
Answer
so
my
gangster,
question.
Since you're so
I'm from
gangster.
Ferguson. I answer. How many people in your neighborhood dress like you? How many rap videos have you watched? Exactly.
How many?
Culture. That's what I am. You a fucking joke. And you trying to poach from me. And come Sunday, you know what's gonna happen? You're gonna get hit with a whole bunch of culture. And your whole jawline gonna shit, that long jawline, probably for PEDs.
Okay, since boxing continues to whore itself out, I guess I have no choice but to cover the shit show. So let's go ahead and get into it. Tyron Woodley versus Jake Paul, one of the Paul brothers. I have no idea where these guys came from, but anyways. All right. Well, the first thing we want to address is a lot of people in the MMA community believes that Tyron Woodley is going to take a dive. Now, how did they come to this conclusion? Because a MMA fighter who's already fought Jake Paul, Ben Askin, or whatever the fuck his name is, has already been accused of taking a dive. Okay, so we're going to have to go ahead and look into this right quick. What do you think about it? Is this something that could possibly be into play that's going on tonight with this fight? It is a strong, extremely strong, and more than likely, it's less than likely that this is not the case. Okay, I'm going to say it again. This is less than likely that this is not the case. The reason why, because anytime Steven Espinoza plans to do business or back somebody like Jake Paul, then they're basically getting into bed with him. So since Steven Espinoza said that he's already teaming up with Logan Paul so they can promote him beyond Tyron Woodley, they have invested interest. And I'm pretty sure he wouldn't link himself to nobody like that if he didn't think that he could be there. So all the signs is in the water for Tyron Woodley to take a dive, because number one, there's supposed to be absolutely no way possible that Jake Paul can beat Tyron Woodley. That's just from stats and facts. There's supposed to be no way in the world that he's supposed to beat Tyron Woodley with that much experience. So with that being said, the other element that's into play is Tyron Woodley, whether people are like it or not, whether the MMA community like it or not, he is representing MMA. Okay. And as of right now, MMA versus boxing, MMA is behind right now. Okay, because a lot of these guys picking these MMA fighters because MMA fighters don't got no stand-up game. You know, and all the people who's dominant in MMA have good hands. If you pay close attention, grappling's cool, kicking's cool, you know what I'm saying? Kimura's cool and all that. But at the end of the day, the most dominant forces, from Chuck Liddell all the way to McGregor, all the ways to Thug Rose, have good hands. If you have good hands, you can go far in the UFC. The rest of that can be caught up. But Tyron Woodley is representing MMA, and the MMA community is concerned whether Tyron Woodley will take a dive. It's set up for him to take a dive. Okay? It's basically set up for him to totally do this because, like I said, they want to stretch Logan Paul beyond this. So, but the question is going to be, when you get somebody like Logan Paul who knocks out somebody like Tyron Woodley after the career that he has had, then yes, that is a black eye on the MMA community. And if he's in this to take a dive, he's throwing the MMA community plus himself up under the damn bus. Me personally, I think it's, like I said, it's almost less than likely that this is not the case because all the signs is in the water. I've been thought this even before all these other MMA fighters come out and say, I believe he's going to take a dive. Okay, you can see the formulas right there for it, because there's no way Jake Paul is supposed to beat Tyron Woodley. Just no damn way. I don't care how much he's trained. I don't care if you got the best trainers in the world. You know, I don't care out of all the PEDs that he's on. It's not supposed to happen. But when it does happen, know that they sold MMA straight the fuck out. You know, that's nonetheless. Okay, what else do we got on the list? Oh, the famous and by the way, the whole Tyron Woodley disrespecting his mama and all that stuff like that, that's also fake. That's not real. You know, they always try to throw that little thing in there at the end to get you invested. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like what Floyd did with Logan Paul. It's kind of like what Deontay Wilder did with Tyson Fury. It's kind of like, well, basically you get the point. You know what I'm saying? They always throw that extra. See, Tyron Woodley is fighting for the culture and his mama. Wilder was fighting for Black History Month. Who else did I say? Floyd was fighting for the black community at the end. Like, they're always going to throw this kind of thing at the end to get you roped in. You know what I'm saying? To get some investing going on. But that whole Tyron Woodley mama being disrespected thing, I don't believe it for a second. Sorry, I just don't. Now, let's get on to some other things that Tyron Woodley was talking about. The whole culture vulture thing. You know, he froze Jake Paul straight the fuck up because he knew Tyron, said something that he could not deny. How many people where you live dressed like you? How many? None. So it's safe to say that I don't even know where these guys came from, but I'm pretty sure they had a middle class, if not rich, upbringing. You know what I'm saying? But the point is, it wasn't in no ghetto, it wasn't in no impoverished area, it wasn't in that, but yet he's sitting up there, Cuban link chain down, gangstered up to the core, but yet accused Tyron of being gangster. When if anybody analyzes Tyron, real gangster people, like real people, I'm talking about real street people, will look at Tyron and tell you that there's nobody who mistake Tyron for a gangster. Tyron acts like a Boy Scout. Straight up. Tyron acts like a Boy Scout. Like, there's really no, he says he's from Ferguson, he says he's from the street, but it's not hard that people from the streets can easily tell that Tyron ain't really a street dude.
Gangster, since you're so gangster,
I don't have to be gangster.
How come you didn't do shit yesterday?
I don't have to be gangster.
Yes, he can fight. Yes, he can. But Tyron is really not no street dude. He's not. He's actually pretty fucking square. You know what I'm saying? Straight. Like, he doesn't even come off a little bit as a guy who tries to pretend to act gangster even for a little bit. Yeah, I know you got rap songs, I beat your ass and all that other shit, but Tyron comes across as a pretty square dude. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. You know, so I don't get that. But when he brings up the whole PED use, notice that Logan Paul's face was stone cold on everything else. But you see, when he brought up that PED use, he had to crack a smile because he know he on the shit. You know what I'm saying? All kind of coaches didn't accuse of Jake Paul of being on steroids. Jake Paul is definitely on steroids. That's not even a fucking question. He's definitely on steroids, you know? But people ask me, who am I going with? I'm going to go with Jake Paul. You know what I'm saying? Because not only of the politics of the whole thing, I'm going to tell you why I'm going to go with Jake Paul. Because when Jake Paul said this, I knew, at least from the combat standpoint, him, his team, and like, they know exactly what they dealing with when they fight Tyron Woodley. When he said this.
Because your fights end relatively quickly. There's a lot of footage on him, but in MMA. Did you even watch his MMA fights in preparation for this? Is there any point of that?
I watched a couple minutes of it. I mainly let my coaches do that and depict, how he fights. I saw a couple things, especially in his, Gilbert Burns fight, how he went up against Kamaru. But, there's not much there. There's really not. It's sort of the same shit. It's like run away, go up against the fence, try to push off the fence with the right hand, come over the top with the overhand right, and then follow it with the hook, put your head down, swing for the fences. He's a basic novice striker.
So when you watch him...
Now, Jake Paul may be a retard, half slow, or whatever, but everything he just said about Tyron Woodley like that is 100% true. He got him. When I heard him analyze him like that, I was like, oh, definitely you get knocked out, because you know what you're dealing with. Tyron is gun shy. All right? He's gun shy. Tyron has never been that hands beast that y'all thought that he was. He has the ability to, but truthfully, he doesn't have the mentality or the heart. Tyron Woodley is a wrestler. He's not no striking dude. He's really not. He's powerful. He got the genetics. He got the body, but that's really not his thing, man. You know what I'm saying? All you got to do to beat Tyron Woodley is step to him. And Jake Paul knows that. All you got to do is step to Tyron Woodley. He told him he going to keep his hand down, you know what I'm saying, stay up against the fence. When shit get desperate, then he going to swing for the fences with that overhand wild right and stuff like that. He totally broke his ass down. So even if this wasn't some fixed ass shit, just off a fight alone, I'll go with Jake Paul. Period. Because right after he analyzed it, he know what he's dealing with. Tyron Woodley is a slow starter. He has a hard time finding his way. And he keep his back up against the fence. And this time, ropes. Those are just facts.